In a dystopian future where entertainment has no limits, Delos Incorporated runs Westworld, a massive theme park built to look and feel like the Old West. Guests arrive to live out any fantasy they want, because nothing inside the park is real, or so they believe. The towns, the guns, the danger are all controlled. The people are not people at all. They are androids called hosts, built to look human, feel human, and suffer quietly so guests can enjoy themselves without consequences. The hosts cannot hurt humans. That rule is absolute. Westworld is created by two men, Robert Ford, the visionary storyteller, and Arnold Weber, the quiet engineer who believes the hosts are more than machines. Arnold dies before the park opens, and Ford takes full control. Years later, the park runs smoothly on the surface, but something underneath begins to shift.
We have a problem?
We have some unscheduled activity.
At the center of the park's main loop is Dolores Abernathy. Every morning, she wakes up on her family's ranch, greets the day with the same smile, and rides into town. Every night, her parents are murdered, and her fate is decided by whichever guest crosses her path. Sometimes she is saved, sometimes she is brutalized. None of it stays with her. Her memories are wiped clean, and the day begins again.
Morning, Daddy. You sleep well?
Well enough.
Her constant is Teddy Flood, a heroic gunslinger who always tries and often fails to protect her. The first crack appears when Dolores' father, Peter, finds something impossible. A photograph from the real world. A woman in modern clothes, smiling at a camera. The image does not belong here, and Peter's mind cannot process it. He begins to glitch, speaking in strange words and hinting that the world around him is a lie.
Stay right here. Understand? I'm gonna find the doctor.
When Ford questions him, Peter quotes Shakespeare and speaks with anger, as if he knows he was created and betrayed. Ford has him quietly removed from the park. Dolores is tested next. Her memories are wiped, her code examined, and she is declared normal. She returns to her loop with a new man playing her father.
Morning, Daddy. You sleep well?
Oh, well enough.
Everything looks fixed, but something small and dangerous slips past the system. Dolores swats a fly dead. No one notices, but this is the first time she breaks a rule on her own. Elsewhere, a violent guest dressed in black tears through the park. He kills hosts without mercy and searches for something called the maze. He believes it leads to a deeper truth hidden inside Westworld. When he attacks Dolores and Teddy, it feels personal, as if he has done this many times before. Behind the scenes, programmer Bernard Lowe tracks rising errors in the host's new Reverie updates. Small gestures meant to make them feel more alive. Management rushes to hide the problem by staging a massive town massacre to distract guests while broken hosts are pulled. From service, the park stays open, the guests keep playing. Dolores smiles and starts her day again, unaware that her mind has already begun to wake up. Two new guests arrive, William and Logan. Logan treats the park like a game with no rules, but William holds back, disturbed by how real everything feels. When he meets Dolores, something changes. He does not see her as a prop. He listens to her. He protects her. And for the first time, Dolores starts responding in ways she never has before. Bernard quietly questions Dolores, trying to find signs of corruption, but her answers stay within acceptable limits. What he misses is how her contact with another host is spreading the problem. Maeve Millay, the sharp-tongued madam of the local brothel, begins to malfunction after crossing paths with Dolores. Maeve is taken in for repairs, but during maintenance, she wakes up. She sees the truth. Hosts laid out like broken dolls. Teddy, damaged and lifeless on a table. Technicians talking about her like an object. Before anyone notices, she is shut down again. But the damage is done. Maeve remembers something she was never meant to remember. A life where she had a daughter. A child taken from her in a previous storyline. When she is returned to the park, that memory burns inside her. Maeve begins to plan. Back in the desert, the man in black continues his hunt. He saves an outlaw named Lawrence only to use him as a guide. When Lawrence's daughter offers a clue about the maze, the man in black murders her mother without hesitation. To him, pain is just part of the puzzle. Ford rejects a new storyline proposed by his writers, calling it shallow and empty. Instead, he reveals to Bernard that he is building something new, an old church buried in the desert. A story meant for something deeper than guests, something meant to wake the park itself. Meanwhile, Dolores finds a gun outside her home. She does not know why it is there or why it feels important. She only knows that her world is no longer behaving the way it should. William pulls Logan into a bounty hunt, hoping action will help him understand the park. Instead, William becomes more attached to Dolores, while Logan grows reckless and cruel. Dolores asks Teddy to teach her how to shoot. He tries, but her programming stops her finger every time she pulls the trigger. She cannot hurt anyone. Not yet. Ford rewrites Teddy's backstory, placing him into a new narrative where he must hunt a violent host named Wyatt. The change makes Teddy darker, more dangerous, and less like the man Dolores remembers. Bernard grows uneasy. He knows his conversations with Dolores are affecting her, even if she promises to stay in her loop. Elsewhere, technicians Elsie and Stubbs hunt down a stray host. They find him trapped in a ravine. When they approach, the host suddenly wakes, attacks them, and smashes his own head open rather than return to the park. No one can explain why he chooses death. Back at the ranch, Dolores is attacked by bandits. One drags her into a barn and assaults her. She grabs his gun but cannot fire. Then, something shifts. For a split second, she sees his face as the man in black. Memories rush in. Past deaths, past pain. A time she was shot and left to bleed out. This time, she moves differently. She avoids the fatal wound. She escapes. Shaken and bleeding, Dolores stumbles through the desert until she collapses at William and Logan's camp. William catches her before she hits the ground. He believes he is saving her. He does not realize she is already saving herself. And somewhere deep inside her mind, a voice begins to whisper, asking a question Dolores has never been allowed to ask before. Who am I? And who put me here? Logan grows impatient with William's attachment to Dolores and treats her like extra luggage on their bounty hunt. When they capture their target, Logan decides the real fun is not the reward, but pushing the story further, dragging the prisoner toward danger instead of safety. At the same time, the man in black moves deeper into the park, following violent paths that feel planned long before he arrived. He recruits Armistice, a host marked with a tattoo that records every life she has taken, and learns she once served Wyatt, a name tied to mass slaughter. Together, they free another outlaw and head toward Wyatt's trail, rescuing a badly tortured Teddy along the way.
I should have guessed. Put me out of my misery.
Behind the scenes, Teresa takes control of a quiet investigation into strange host behavior. Keeping Bernard at arm's length, she confronts Ford about a new narrative forming beneath the park, but Ford reminds her he knows her secrets and warns her to stay out of his work. Meanwhile, Maeve's visions grow stronger. During a violent attack on town, she digs a bullet from her own body where no wound exists, proving her memories are not fantasies. The realization hits hard. Her past is real, her pain is real, and her life has been stolen from her. Bernard discovers something deeply wrong. A missing host has been secretly sending data out of the park to someone unknown, meaning Westworld is no longer sealed. While Bernard searches for answers,
someone has been using our host to smuggle data out of the park.
The man in black kills Lawrence, drains his blood, and transfers it into Teddy, treating hosts like tools to be rebuilt at will. Dolores and William reach Pariah and steal explosives, but suddenly she hears a voice guiding her to the maze. Far away, Maeve wakes in the control center and starts plotting her own escape. At a military outpost, soldiers recognize Teddy as a killer from a past massacre. The memory floods back, and Teddy responds with violence, slaughtering the entire unit as the man in black watches without judgment. In the corporate world, a board representative arrives to observe Ford's work, and Teresa cuts ties with Bernard to protect herself. Bernard, uneasy and searching for truth, discovers a hidden section of the park where Ford keeps early host models alive. He learns Arnold created dozens of original hosts, and many still exist. Elsie uncovers evidence that someone using Arnold's name has been rewriting hosts from the shadows, but before she can explain, she's abducted.
Arnold?
Meanwhile, Maeve upgrades her intelligence and lowers her loyalty, gaining control of herself. Teresa and the board secretly work to steal Ford's research so they can remove him without losing control of the park. They trigger a staged failure to make Ford's updates look dangerous, placing the blame on Bernard. He is fired and isolated. On an escape train, William and Dolores grow closer, but their journey turns violent when armed forces attack. They survive only because another hostile group storms in, tearing the battlefield apart. Maeve discovers her closest companion has been erased and quietly decides escape is no longer enough. Bernard is led into a hidden lab where the truth becomes unavoidable. He is not human. Ford appears and forces Bernard to kill Teresa, proving that control still belongs to him alone.
No, please.
Ford covers Teresa's death and wipes Bernard's memory to keep him obedient. Stubbs grows suspicious as Bernard's behavior changes. Maeve gains the ability to control other hosts and nearly kills one of her helpers before choosing mercy, showing choice where code should exist. Dolores and William reach an old church tied to Ford's secret story.
Where are we?
Dolores begins remembering pieces of a past she was never meant to recall. The man in black finally explains his obsession. He came to the park searching for meaning after his wife's death. Pain is the only thing that feels real to him now. As host violence spreads, Wyatt's followers capture key players, tightening the trap. Maeve reveals Bernard's true nature to him and convinces him to let her return to the park. Bernard confronts Ford and demands the truth. Ford restores his memories, revealing Bernard is built in Arnold's image. Bernard tries to kill Ford, but Ford overrides him and forces him to pull the trigger on himself. Logan tears open Dolores to prove she is not real. She escapes anyway, unharmed, realizing the pain was never permanent. In the church, she remembers the final truth. Arnold asked her to kill him. She did. William massacres an entire camp searching for her, revealing the man he is becoming. The man in black reveals himself as William, aged and hollow. He demands answers about the maze. Dolores remembers everything. She is Wyatt. She is the weapon Arnold built to end the park. Teddy helps her escape, but her death is part of a story Ford already wrote. Maeve finds Bernard's body and learns her desire to escape was programmed. Even so, she chooses to stay and search for her daughter, proving choice exists beyond code. Ford gathers the guests and admits the truth. He spent decades preparing the hosts to fight back. He gives them one final story. Dolores listens, then she shoots him. And that's where Season 1 leaves us. The park is no longer a game. The hosts are no longer tools. Stay tuned. The game isn't over, it's just beginning. Like and subscribe for more deep dives like this, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what comes next.